Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand here today to participate with a very heavy heart, to participate in this obituary reference that we are having at this moment, where the state and the country has seen the demise, witnessed the demise of 16 great leaders, whether at the state level or at the national level. It has been a great loss for the people of our country and for the people of our state. In the last few months, we have lost 16 very tall leaders who had contributed immensely at different levels to their constituency, to their state, and to the country as a whole. Our own state of Meghalaya had recently lost late Nimerson Momen, who was a cabinet minister, also a former deputy speaker of the assembly, and an MLA who had served for a long period for Salmanpara constituency. And he passed away on the 6th of February 2023. The state of Nagaland had lost their former speaker, late Dr. Imtiwapang Iyer, who passed away on the 7th of January 2023. The state of Odisha lost late Bijay Ranjan Singh Bariha, who was a member of the Legislative Assembly, who passed away on the 3rd of October 2020. The state of Uttar Pradesh lost their former chief minister, 3 times chief minister, late Mulayam Singh Yadav, who passed away on the 10th of October 2020. The state of Maharashtra lost an MLA, late Mukta Tilak, on the 22nd of December 2022. The state of Assam had lost a former MLA and 2-time Rajya Sabha MP, late Karnendu Bhattacharya, who passed away on the 23rd of December 2022. The state of Maharashtra again lost a former legislature, late Lakshman P. Jagtap, who passed away on the 3rd of January 2023. Again, the state of Uttar Pradesh lost their former speaker, late Ishari Nath Tripathi, who passed away on the 8th of January 2023. The country lost one of a very senior political figure, late Sharad Yadav, who was a former union minister from Madhya Pradesh, who passed away on 12th of January 2023. Uttar Pradesh again lost another former MLA, late Sundarlal Dikshit, who passed away on the 14th of January 2023. The state of Punjab lost their former cabinet minister, late Santokh Singh Chaudhary, who passed away on the 14th of January 2023. State of Odisha lost another former MLA, their former health minister, late Nabakishore Das, who passed away on the 29th of January 2023. Again, another MLA, former MLA from Odisha, late Arjun Charan Das, who passed away on 4th of February 2023. The state of Karnataka, former MLA, late Shivanand Ambadagati, who was also the Vice President of the AIVM, who passed away on the 9th of February 2023. The state of Telangana lost a senior leader, a senior 5-time MLA, late G. Sayana, who passed away on the 19th of February 2023. And another senior leader from the state of Maharashtra, late Devi Singh Shekhawat, who passed away on the 24th of February 2023. So while the leaders who we have lost are all very, very tall leaders and have contributed immensely, I would like to just spend a few moments mentioning about few of these tall leaders who I have known personally, who we lost in the past 6 months. Late Nimerson Momin was not just a political leader who we knew through politics, but he was also a very close family member. And I remember so many moments that I had spent with him where he always went beyond politics, and he would always ensure that that personal relationship and that family relationship would always be of priority than the political relationship that we had. I used to very fondly call him Awang, which in Garo language technically is in his case at least, we referred it from my father's point of view. So my father's younger brother, so because he used to call my father Ada, so I used to call him Awang. And I remember one day I was sitting with late Dr. Don Cooper Roy, and late Nimerson Momin also was there. And I kept calling him Awang, and he kept calling me Awang. And I remember Dr. Don Cooper Roy then asked, what is this meaning of Awang? So I tried to explain, and then after that Mr. Nimerson took over before I could say much. And he tried to explain what the relationship of Awang means. So after a lot of difficulty, he could not find the correct words. Then he said, in shortcut, it means cousin son. So that's the word he used. He said, he's my cousin son. So because from my father's point of view, so he treated my father as a brother, and so he called me a cousin son. So that's the kind of relationship we shared, and he used to, as I said, very closely work with me, whether politically or even from a family point of view. And I remember that a few days before he passed away, I had the honor of meeting him I happened to visit his house on New Year's this year, 1st of January 2023. So while I had gone to my mother's village for New Year's celebration, so I happened to enter his house on that day, and I could sit with him. He looked very weak at that point in time, but in spite of being weak, he was as usual, very jolly, very positive, very happy mood, and you could not see maybe the pain and the difficulty that he was going through at that point in time because of the ailment that he was having. He never let it show on his face. And that's really the summary of the kind of person that late Nimerson Momen was. He was a very jolly person, a very happy person, and he never let small issues bother himself or the people who used to interact with. And a person who was very direct. So if he had something in his heart, he would just tell you directly, and then it would be over after that, and he would be back to his jolly mood. So I had this great opportunity on the 1st of January. Before he passed away, I got an opportunity to meet him. So we truly miss him, and I'm sure even that day when I went, there were so many people in the house that day, even though he has been not very active in political life. In spite of that, the fact that there were so many people in his house, because it was a surprise visit, I didn't plan, I just quickly entered his house. So it was not a planned visit, but seeing so many people in his house, I was surprised to see that even after so many years of not being in active politics, people still had the love for him. That was late Mr. Nimerson Momen, and truly a grassroots person, and definitely a person who used to always maintain his friendship and relationship with whoever he came in touch with. So we really are sad because of his demise, and we pray to Almighty that he may give his family members the strength to bear this loss that they have had. Sir, I also had a great opportunity through my late father, late P.A. Sangma, to work and to associate myself with two very tall leaders who passed away in the last few months. One is late Mulayam Singh Yadav and late Sharad Yadav. And these are two leaders who actually have played a very, very important role, I should say, in national politics. And being from larger states, they had important roles to play while they were in the government, and obviously even in opposition. They were people that really impacted the overall political scenario of the nation. In fact, both the leaders, even till the last, we could always see them politically being active, taking interest in issues concerning the country, and really pushing and pulling the overall political strings, I should say, in Parliament and at national political level. And they have been so active in their respective states also, where late Mulayam Singh Yadav ji was Chief Minister for many terms. And I remember, as I said, meeting him in numerous occasions. And whenever I met him, we never required any kind of appointment. And whether it was late Sharad Yadav ji or late Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, I remember whenever I wanted to meet them, they would just call us during a particular time. There was no need for appointment. If you go to their house between 10 to 11, they would always meet public every day and give you that 5-10 minutes that you required to discuss important matters. And that's the kind of grassroots connect that both of them had. And I must say, something that I have learned from these great leaders is this entire quality of accessibility. And as a leader, one needs to be accessible to the public and to the masses. And I've seen that in spite of having such high positions late Mulayam Singh Yadav ji and late Sharad Yadav ji, no matter what position they were in, they would always be accessible to the people. And this is one quality that I really appreciated in them because I've experienced it myself, and something that I have also learned to whatever level possible from the way these two great leaders have functioned and worked as political leaders. And I can say very confidently that both demise of Mulayam Singh Yadav ji and Sharad Yadav ji has left a very big vacuum in the national politics, because we know that states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Bihar are very large states, and they play a very crucial role in national politics. And hence, this vacuum that has been created because of their demise is something that is going to be very difficult to fill up. And I'm sure that this impacts the national politics to a very, very large extent. Because they were not just leaders who had that political space, but they were also the people who used to maneuver, move and be links between different groups. And that kind of linkage and maneuvering is something that both Mulayam Singh Yadav ji and Sharad Yadav ji have been masters at. And the reason I'm talking and sharing all this thing with the August House is because I've seen it with my own eyes. Even as a small boy, I used to watch when the meetings used to take place between late P.S. Sangma, late Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, late Sharad Yadav ji, Sharad Pawar ji used to come. All these great leaders used to come and they used to discuss about national politics. So, as I said, these are great losses, not just for their state and for their constituency, but even for the political setup and the political scenario in this country as a whole. So apart from that, many other senior leaders have passed away in the last 6 months. On behalf of this House, I would like to express my deepest condolences to the bereaved family, and I would like to also pray to Almighty that He may give the necessary strength to the family members, to the political parties, to the supporters of all these great leaders, so that they may be able to bear this huge loss that they have had. And I pray to Almighty that their souls may rest in eternal peace. With these few words, I once again express my condolences and resume my seat. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Dr. Mukul Sangma, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to join the Leader of the House in condoling the demise of all these illustrious leaders that the nation has produced. Just recently, the House has condoled the demise of two of our important leaders of our state. And here today, again, we have as many as 16 important leaders who have left us, and in the trail they have left such a vacuum which will be difficult, very, very difficult for us to fill up. All these leaders from different states who had had their innings in their respective both state and national politics have with them the whole trail of innumerable services that they have given to the people, the state and the nation as a whole. These leaders have choose to serve the people, served their respective states and served the nation and have dedicated their whole life in serving the people, building the respective states and building this great nation. I'm sure that all these grieving members of the bereaved family receive the comfort from the Almighty God. My sincere prayers for all the families. And while the Honorable Leader of the August House has already referred to the names of these number of illustrious leaders who have had their innings and left us, I would like to particularly share my particular feeling in respect of Let Emerson moment. One of the leaders who have over the years served the people in different capacities. Started his innings as a social worker, as a teacher, an ardent sports lover. I used to know him because while I was still a student, I used to know many of his students who used to be encouraged and escorted by himself in different tournaments across that part of the state, reflecting his passion and love for the sports and how he wanted to nurture and groom the young children as sports person in the state. Subsequently, he decided to enter into active politics. I remember when he was preparing as a candidate in pursuit of his desired innings in politics, and how often he used to drop in to my parents' house and describe the challenge that he used to face. Because he was fighting an election against a very, very popular, the then MLA, Let Mackinson Sangma, who used to be rooted with the masses, who used to be known as the leader of the masses. I remember when I was a young man, a small kid, this popular man, Mackinson Sangma. And then everybody used to be skeptic as to whether this new entrant in politics, Mr. Emerson Moment, can replace the well-rooted politician, but he did it. He did it in 1988. And subsequently, as we saw him serving the people of that particular part, which includes my native place, Ampati, because Ampati and Salmanpara, these constituencies are contiguous. And just next to Ampati village, the constituency that he represented starts. And therefore, I could have a privilege of being able to see how he was leveraging upon the privilege of serving the people, and eventually he became so popular that he became a leader of the masses. I also encountered him as I joined as medical and health officer in his constituency at Zigzag. I remember when I applied for posting after completing my medical sciences, I went and met him and told him that I intend to get the posting at Zigzag PHC. He was so happy. He was so happy because the Zigzag PHC was without a doctor for years together. And everybody thought that I will either choose to be in Ampati or in Tura, because everywhere there were plenty of vacancies. But when I met him and told him, Gumi, I want to be at Zigzag, he was elected. He treated me with a sumptuous meal, and I had the privilege of being further associated and deepen our association with him as one of the officers serving in his constituency. And as I used to call him Gumi because his wife used to be my cousin sister, and therefore the rapport as an officer and an elected representative, and at the same time cemented with the relationship. I had a beautiful experience and have fond memories of my innings as a medical and health officer. I never had any kind of challenges that one would anticipate to face. Rather, he would drop in to the PHC, call me, Jongsari, how are you doing? And see what can be further done to upgrade the facilities. Subsequently, when I showed my interest to join politics, he wanted me to be with him in starting my political innings, to be in the party that he was in. Subsequently, we had the privilege of being the members of this August House. Of course, 93, he was defeated, and 98, he got re-elected, and we had the privilege to be member of this August House and serve the people together. And since then, I have further known him as politician, as a leader, who would be always available for people. A man who was probably the most accessible politician then, prior to us. He has served the people with utmost dedication and sincerity, given the kind of backwardness that that particular constituency has. It was a difficult constituency, but nevertheless, the fact that he has been repeatedly re-elected by the people substantiates the love of the people that he earned all through his life as servant of the people. He truly belonged to the people, and his demise is a great loss for the people of that particular area, and at the same time for the people of the state as a whole. I convey my deepest condolences to the members of the Bir family and to all his loved ones, the relatives, and the electorates of Salmanpur constituency and the adjacent areas, particularly the Southwest Garhwal's people, whom he has served throughout his life until the last day that he breathed last. I also, through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, convey my deepest condolences to all the members of all the illustrious leaders whom we have lost. May God the Almighty grant them solace and fortitude and enable them to overcome the grief and sense of loss. And I sincerely pray that all the souls of all these departed leaders find an eternal peace. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, sir, I resume my seat.
Thank you. Any members who would like to participate? since there are no more participants, I would like to join the Chief Ministers and Honorable members of this August House to express my condolences to the bereaved families. First of all, I pay my homage to late Nimarsan Moman, former Deputy Speaker and Minister of Meghalaya. Late Nimarsan Moman passed away on 6th February 2023. He was 70 years old. I knew him as a very good football player. When we were young, we used to watch him play, and he was very good at the game. A veteran political leader with a career span of almost 4 decades, late Nimarsan Moman successfully contested the Assembly elections of Meghalaya as an independent candidate from Salmanpara in 1988, where he was a Minister of State from 1990 to 1991 and held the post of Deputy Speaker of Meghalaya Legislative Assembly from 1991 to 1993. In 1998, he was re-elected to the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly as a candidate of the Indian National Congress from the same constituency and was a Minister of Food and Civil Supplies, including Consumer Affairs and Fisheries. In 2008, the former minister was elected for the 3rd time as an MLA of Salmanpara constituency as a candidate of United Democratic Party. I would also like to pay my respects to late Mulayam Singh Yadav. I had the privilege and honor of knowing him personally through our late leader P.S. Sangma. Though very brief, late Mulayam Singh Sangma, who was also an MP Lok Sabha during the time I was representing this state as a member of the Rajya Sabha from 2008 to 2013. I also had the privilege of knowing late Sharat Yadav through late P.S. Sangma, where we served together in the Rajya Sabha and even beyond my tenure in the Parliament. After when I was elected as an MLA in 2018-19, we had a brief meeting before the COVID pandemic happened. I would also like to pay homages and respect to other political figures from other states, like late Dr. Imti Wapang Iyer, late Vijaya Ranjan Singh Bariha, late Mukta Tilak, late Karnendu Bhattacharjee, late Lakshman P. Jagtap, late Kesari Nath Tripathi, late Sundarlal Dixit, late Santosh Singh Chaudhary, Naba Kishore Das, late Arjun Charan Das, late Sivanand Ambada Gati, late G. Sayana, late Devi Singh Shekhawat. May the departed souls rest in peace. May I now request all the honorable members to rise and observe 2 minutes silence as a mark of respect to the departed souls.